I think currently HubSpot is really the leader in combining AI functionality with standard CRM functionality. So wherever you are in HubSpot, you have AI, really.
Hello there. Welcome to a new HubHype episode.
Hi there.
How are you? Hi.
Good. I'm fine today. I'm fine today.
Yeah, the sun is shining finally here in Portugal.
We are lucky.
Last episode, hopefully you got the chance to listen to it. We had a very special guest, Timo Farline, and we were talking about segmentation. So in case you didn't have the chance to look it up, make sure you listen. It's super interesting. And also, if you want to be a guest in our podcast, we have somewhere for where you can submit your interest to join us in the conversation.
Yeah, we're looking forward to have much more guests because it's so interesting to see outside of our ecosystem, so to say,
Yes.
to see people, to see projects, to see also people which have the same mindset as we do. I think it was a very fruitful conversation with him. Loved it, really. It was great.
Yeah, me too. Because it's like we are always talking, just the two of us. I mean, we work together every day. So it's good to have a fresh new perspective on things, even though it's like the same topics, but people are doing different things that also work. So yeah, so it was really, really good. So yeah, in case you want to be our next guest, make sure you submit the form. So I really want to start the podcast with a cool use case that we did around like a couple days ago for a client, and it's about Breeze assistants. So you know that you can build your own assistants, and this is specific use case is very common in a lot of companies. So this customer wanted to have information about the naming conventions for all the users inside HubSpot. And this could be anything, like naming conventions is one, but like you could have processes within your sales team or whatever. And in this document was like the convention that they want to follow, like how to name forms, how to name workflows, and also how to structure them into folders. And it's so hard for users, especially if when you have like dozens of users using HubSpot and creating those assets, it's really, really hard for them to remind themselves about a specific convention. I mean, they will eventually memorize it, but until then, it's hard. It's hard, right? And when you put that as well somewhere in your internal folders or an internal communication tool, it's probably not happen. We all know that
Mm.
it's hard to adopt. And so one thing that it's a great solution is to create a Breeze assistant with that information. So, and how you do that, it's really, really simple. I think this is just for pro subscriptions, I believe,
I'm not
but
sure.
I'm not sure, but I assume so. In your left panel, you have Breeze and then you have Breeze Studio. Now you can create your own assistant, but if you go to the marketplace, you see already some kind of pre-made models of those assistants that you can then adapt to your own. And it does have one which is called FAQ assistant or internal FAQ. It's named something like that. So we used that and we renamed it. And then what you can do is configured based on what you want to show. So you can set up a welcome message. In this case, would be like, here is all you need to know about the naming conventions, ask away. And you have as well a place where you can give some instructions to the assistant. So how that information is then displayed when someone is asking for it. And then you can also you have up to 3 questions, preset questions that you can already have in there. So for instance, how do I name my workflows? How do I structure my list into files? So people know like what kind of questions they can ask. Most importantly, the system is taking that from a knowledge vault. So the knowledge vault is something that you have as well in your menu. You can go exactly to knowledge vaults. You can add an it could be an URL, it can be a PDF. And then that is basically where the system is taking the information from. And it works so well because we tested it already. Every kind of or question that you ask the system regarding what you have in the file, you can always update it as well. It will give you a proper direct information about it. So it's really, really good. It's really easy to implement, and I'm sure it will make a big difference to how your users adopt those kind of
Absolutely.
as well.
I think the missing piece, though, is that we need much more use cases in general at our clients as well as in the HubSpot world out there, because Breeze is just the beginning, I would say. So we were on a call, I don't know, it was 3 weeks ago, with a prospect of ours, and they asked us, "What is your answer to all the AI functionality in HubSpot?" And I think there's so much. There is the content agent, the prospecting agent, the buyer intent, the customer agent. You can automate, generate marketing content. You can do research, etc. But for me, to be honest, everything starts with a plan. And do not plan a overall huge global plan. It's just simple things, because in the future the repetitive work will be done by agents. I'm 100% sure, because why putting in a number of employees in there when you can quickly ask through an agent to ChatGPT or Perplexity or whatever you're using, but you need to have a plan. So and start very simple. Look at the ongoing task you're doing every day. And one big task as well is naming convention, because when we look into new portals, that is our first recommendation, I would say, every time. Have a look at your naming convention. Otherwise, you won't find anything. So I totally agree. That's a great thing, by the way. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen a lot as well. Like when you're talking about the prospecting agent,
Mm.
can simply all the inbound leads that are coming in, you can automatically do the routing, like with the round robin, and then directly create an action inside a workflow, rolling them in a prospecting agent. And then it does everything for you, you know? So, but it's better always to have a plan on how to use that, because then you get overwhelmed with so
Mm.
many, and you don't
And
have to
and
do all of them actually.
yeah, exactly. And sticking to the prospecting agent, so I'm trying this out now for, yeah, I would say 4 weeks or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's getting better and better and better. And me also as a kind in the sales role, so to say, it's pretty cool because I can approve the emails which are pre-created from the prospecting agent. And then I can do my amendments and then send it out. And it's learning during I'm doing that. And the emails the prospecting agent is writing are brilliant, really, because it considers everything. It considers a website visit, it considers a form download, a form submission or download. It really looks at the whole activity of a contact, which me as a salesperson would cost, I don't know, 30 minutes to go over that. And even some, if you have an intent, if there is a new job coming up at this company, it's also considered, or if a prize win was there or something, everything is considered. So that means you always have your hook and can send it to the customer. That's really brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, that's amazing because it really will take a lot of time. And
Mhm.
it's like basically considering everything you have inside HubSpot into the email. And then
Yeah,
you can review it, but you would say that it's already very good. Of course, we also need to review whatever is made with AI, even
well,
though
it's
it's
always the
not,
same. Yeah. So
but yeah, I think I've seen that as well. I mean, the information of those emails are very good. So I really think it's something that you should try if you haven't. Also, do you have like an idea of how is that in terms of results? So what's the outcome of those emails, like comparing to some that you would do?
that's hard to say, but I would say the response rate, or let's call it conversion rate. What is a conversion? A conversion for me is the CTA we are asking for is always the health check. So when I'm sending out those emails, I would say 1/4, 25% are reacting and saying that sounds interesting, and for sure I'm getting more meetings out of that than before. And also for me, it's more the time I'm using to prepare those emails,
Yes.
because first, as everyone can hear, I'm not a native speaker in English, but the English I'm reading is quite good, really. So at least for my ear, and it's very well done, very well done. Also in German, that's also quite good, I have to admit.
Really? Okay.
It's quite okay. It's always like AI, so there are mistakes in there. I would
Yeah,
never
that's why you
really
can.
automate the process. I want to still be the gatekeeper, so to say, but
Mhm.
overall it's really good. And it saves me, I would say, at least 50, 60% of
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, if you look into the effort you put on it, I mean, it's always
perfect.
an advantage. Absolutely. Yeah. Do you have because it's been almost like 2 months since because last time we were talking with Timo about a specific topic. Is there any use case that you recently look into with one of our clients that you want to share?
Not really use case, but what I see really currently in the market, sure, it's HubHype. So we are talking about HubSpot. So
Spot, yeah.
what I see more and more is really customers or prospects considering moving from Salesforce to HubSpot. In the last 4 weeks, I would say I had 10 prospecting calls. They wanted to, or they want to move from Salesforce to HubSpot. So we already have some content out there, how we are doing that. And this morning I had a call as well. It was about how do we do that. And it's not only about the tool, it's also about the people. So what I would recommend really is besides the tool and migration questions and how can we use it and what will it cost me, always consider that there are people involved. And when there are people involved, those people have to be aligned. Those people have to be enabled to use the new system, because just bringing in a new tool because it's sexy or AI is included, I wouldn't do that. But really, with a good plan, you can move from tools like Salesforce to HubSpot in an easy way. And this is what I see is coming more and more and more, because what I see currently is that Salesforce, from the development side of the house, they are still a very good CRM system. But if you want to be agile, if you want to be quicker, if you want to try it out, as an example, AI, then you should think about maybe not completely moving to HubSpot. Why? But using it for a portion of people, let's say it this way, maybe BDM, so for outbound calling, that you see all the information in there. This is what I see more and more coming, really, in the last 4, 6 weeks.
And you mentioning AI, do you think that's one of the primary reasons why those companies are looking into HubSpot and wanted to leave Salesforce, or is there any other?
It's yes, I think it's one thing. So Gemini from HubSpot was saying they are a AI first company. I don't like this phrase. Like Damish as well, he also said AI first is not a very good phrase to pronounce there. So they have to align somehow. You see, but I think when I compare to other tools like Microsoft Customer Insights or Salesforce or Soho or Pipedrive, I think currently HubSpot is really the leader in combining AI functionality with
Mhm.
standard CRM functionality. So wherever you are in HubSpot, you have AI, really. The question is how to use it and how to train those people using AI. But I think the movement is really because HubSpot is really top of the pops, I would say, regarding AI. And second, that's one thing. And second is everything what they have in the system is homegrown developed, which
Yes.
means they started back in time, I don't know when exactly, but 15 years ago as a marketing suite. Then
Hmm.
they moved into sales. Now we are talking about service as well. And it's complete. You do not have to have a data migration project if you want to use service in marketing or service in sales or data, whatever. Everything is included. And I think for me, coming from a little bit on a other background, so for sure, always marketing automation, but it's the most complete solution CRM out there in the market, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that because you said it's all there centralized into the marketing, sales, service, I mean CMS and commerce as well. And then like it's not separate things, like everything talks to each other, like all the like the service hub is talking with the marketing hub, and the CRM is talking obviously with all of them. But you definitely can build journey in your company or for your customers along all four pillars, and it's all integrated, it's all there. And I think that's really what they are looking for, those companies, and they find it in HubSpot, obviously.
Yeah, true.
And because it's so great, HubSpot, obviously we are fans. There are two big updates that I wanted to. That's actually a good segue that we just talked, that everything is integrated. And not long ago, they started investing a lot on the video functionality. So the capability of editing videos and also optimizing those videos for SEO and all that. And now you can as well record the video inside HubSpot. So
Mm,
that enables you to just, I mean, if you have, that's our case as well, but if you have like another tool that you're using because you couldn't do it inside HubSpot, you can actually record the video in HubSpot in the video feature and then edit there and then optimize it and then schedule and share across multiple platforms. It's
nice.
all there. Yeah, it's all there. So that's great. The other thing is mostly for marketing as well. And I think it's paying into how we are reporting our campaigns because, the campaign studio and the fact that you can add different types of assets into a campaign and and see how they perform. They added one more to it, is that you can now actually associate records into the campaign. And that means what? Mostly for me, it's most interesting. You can associate tickets and companies and contacts. But for me, the most important is that you can associate deals. And then if you associate deals into a campaign, you can then see the return of the investment that the campaign gave to your
That's nice.
company by looking into the deal and the revenue you got from it. And so that's a more realistic like view of the whole campaign and how actually that campaign contributed at the end of the day to your pipeline growth. So those are very, very interesting updates that I wanted to bring in case you have no idea that that's existing. I think it's live. I think both of them are live. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if they're
I
in
think so
private
too. Yeah.
beta or not. But take a look. It's great, really.
Perfect. Nice.
Do you have any update you want to share or?
I think we have an internal update to share, I think, a little bit. So we have the Thalox normalizer. So
Yes.
maybe the name is not the best one, but I
What do
asked
you
the
mean it's on
team.
the website? Yeah, normalizer.
Yeah, normalizer. It sounds like Terminator, but
Yeah,
maybe that's
exactly.
because of my last name. So we have the Thalox normalizer. What is it? So the normalizer, because we very often in our consulting engagements were asked, what can we do about job role? What can we do about number of employees, revenue, whatever? So we have a new functionality in our product, which is called then the Thalox normalizer, where you can see the automatically normalize them, how the name is coming from, normalize them in a good structured way. So we are using in the background ChatGPT for that, and the results are quite good. And it's really on your fingertips. So you don't have to think about what job role could it be or what could be a good size of the revenue. The system is doing this automatically for you. The other thing is it's not overwriting existing data because I don't like to overwrite data. And so we are pushing then a new field into your HubSpot instance where you can work on those normalized data, which is super important for segmentation, which is super important for scoring. And I can just invite you to try it out. There's a trial phase as well, so that's a little bit of an advertisement block, but try it out. There is much more which is in the system, like the profiler. You see already, you see your fields. So it's a I would call it Data Hub Lite, what we have in there now, as well as the engagement of the contact. So 3 big functionalities which really could help you to make better marketing.
Yes. And the normalizer, I don't believe there's nothing like that in HubSpot, or am I wrong? So
No,
yes.
not
So
yet, not yet.
so yeah, if they listen, they will obviously develop that next week. But yeah, for sure. That's and we see that in almost like all of our clients that they have such data. Job title is a very good example because it's a free text field in HubSpot. If you put that into your forms, you will have a bunch of different values, and some of them can be grouped into one and then actually put into a drop down field, which is basically the result that you get. And then you can actually use that in scoring. You can use that in segmentation, and you can trust the data because otherwise it's just a big mess. So yeah, 30 days for free, you can try it out. And yeah, I think that's a
That's
good
it for now.
that's it from now. Thank you all for listening, and see you next time.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.